Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we'll be going to the same places that we went in the previous video because it's the same trip, but this video will be focused way more on China, so cups, plates, cutlery, and all the good stuff. So enough of me blabbing, let's get started. Our first stop today will be Florence, Italy, because this is where they have their Richard Ginori flagship shop. I had high expectations of all the shops that I had on my bucket list to go to, but this Richard Ginori flagship store slaps! The whole store is designed kind of like a house, so you have a dining area and they have a little kitchen and a little living area. It is fantastic. As you can see, this is their Oriente collection. Pink, white, red, blue, green. Any color under the rainbow you can get in this series. My personal favorite shape that they do is probably the square ones, because I think it plays into the Asian origin of the design the best, and I think food would look the most appetizing on the square. But regardless, I'll be happy to get a round one, a container, a mug, a vase, you name it. I'll be happy with any of that. I actually did not know that Richard Ginori made other homewares like this table runner you see in the clip. It is in their Oriente design, but I don't know if it's for sale, if it's something they do custom to the shop. Maybe the fabric is available. I don't know, I gotta look into that, but wowza. Right guys, look at this presentation. Wow, wow, wow. I did not know it came in a black and white. That was news to me. And I thought this cute little espresso cup with the Geoponte like design on it was so nice. And this is a more modern looking piece, but the design is done in this gold finish instead of the blacks or the blues that we saw earlier. Gorgeous. Just soak it in, just soak in the atmosphere. I also enjoyed just walking around looking at some of their collections I had never seen before. And I thought maybe next time if I am going to get a souvenir from here, I should probably not decide in advance, because some of the collections here, like the Labyrinto and the Katane, you see them in other shops. At least me personally, I've seen them in other Richard Ginori shops overseas, but a lot or a majority of the other items that were in the shop I had never seen before. So I thought probably better I don't make my mind up before I walk in here and I actually have a look, and then I can decide. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This beautiful design here is called the La Scala, and this has been discontinued in 2022. So if you like this design, now is the time to snatch it up, or you can get it on the second-hand market. I mentioned in my previous video that I am a sucker for bird motifs on china, and look at this one. Look at it. And the little rope design and the way the plants grow outwards on the rim. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I think because a lot of Richard Ginori pieces are obviously very expensive, and if I were to buy full price in a store, I'd probably only buy like one piece that I display. Maybe I might go with this bird piece. This design over here has a blue floral print on top of their classic Vecchio design. I think the Vecchio white, which is basically this without any of the color on it, so none of the gold and none of the blue floral print on it, is very, very popular in Japan. I mentioned earlier that I am a sucker for bird motifs, but I'm actually also a sucker of Italian scenery china. Stunning, stunning. In my personal Richard Ginori collection, I have their fiazzoles, which is basically the Italian scenery, but it's framed in gold. It's like a square on cups. I'll show you guys that in another video. Ah, look at this pink section. I love it. I love it. If I had all the money in the world, I think I would be buying a full collection of their Granduca Coriana series, because that was the first design I saw from Richard Ginori where I was like, what is this? Because look at it. Look at this one. Just look at it. Look at the color combo. The neon orange of the scenery in the center, and the beautiful pastel color both in the peach and the soft like muscat grapes, kind of like sorbet color. It's stunning. It's stunning. Over here is their more modern designs. I think these days Richard Ginori may be associated with these designs a lot more. It's their Neptune collection. I think the colors are fun. Are they my cup of tea? Maybe not. But yeah, I think they're pretty cute. This series is the one with the roosters on it. This is their blue cock, but I am particularly interested in their red cock series. That is up there on my bucket list, so hopefully I'll get that soon. This room in their store kind of resembles a kitchen, and it's got tiles all over the wall. I think this tile must be one of their designs they've done in the past. I don't really recognize it, but I would think it is. Just because they make references to their own designs elsewhere, like on the ceiling, they have the wonderful, the gorgeous, the amazing blue cock design, and they have a chair with the Oriente pattern on it. One of the delights of the flagship store is they have this wall with all of their handles and pot spouts that I've ever done. Look at this one. It's like, is that a dragon? Stunning. I could go on and on about the flagship store, but I think we have to wrap it up. And at the very end, I actually wanted to show you guys the Richard Ginori cups I ended up picking up at the antique market in Florence, and these are the two of them. The one to the right is the Granduca, and the one in the middle is the Fiesole in that gold frame Italian scenery that I mentioned. Honorable mention to this store here in Florence, which is right near the Richard Ginori flagship store, is U Poggi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but everybody inside was so kind. They showed me that they had their own china through which you can custom print your own emblem or family crest or initials or whatever. Maybe you want it for your wedding, for an example. They do that all for you here. And they show you all the different designs you can print it on. It is fantastic. Now we've taken a plane over to England, and we are in Notting Hill, more specifically Portobello Road, and this is the Portobello Print and Map Shop, where I ended up buying a print of 2 squirrels from the 1860s. They also have a bunch of antique maps in the back, so if you're traveling from a certain country and you're looking for an antique map of your own country, that's where you should look. I was definitely the most hyped about London, and of course specifically Portobello Road. I did notice a lot of the prices at shops, well, permanent shops I should say, on the road tend to be more expensive than the people who are setting up, let's say, on the road for the day. So look around nonetheless, especially because I think the permanent shops tend to have your classic predictable items, and it is bountiful. And just because they have a lot of it in the permanent shop, it doesn't mean it takes away from that treasure hunting fun that is these kinds of markets or these kind of roads that have a mishmash of everything. Even the permanent shops are stacked, as you can see, so you still have to dig through and find what you want. They also had some Harend pieces, and I was very excited to see this one cup that I call Taylor in my collection by Minton because I had never seen it before. And this plate over here was probably the one I debated about buying at the permanent shops because I love green and, once again, bird motif. I am a sucker. Now we're at the iconic department store, Liberty. Liberty was definitely up there in my bucket list places to go because they sell the best stuff. I mean, look at this tray. I'm just gonna show you a bunch of trays in this video as well. Although technically they are not china, they are used to serve food and drinks and whatnot, so I think it's okay we include it here. I naturally gravitate towards kind of wallpaper prints like William Morris fabrics, for an example. So these trays are just tickling my feathers. Like, I'm so in love with them. I noticed some colorful pieces over here, and I realized actually if you still want to buy something to display but you don't want to get a plate because it might break on the suitcase, these trays are probably the way to go. And this sunflower one actually reminded me of these plates that they sell at H&M. Look at the sunflower. I think it's kind of identical. Just for price reference, so this one over here is £32, and if that one is too big, they also sell the coaster versions over here. Just as stunning, and I think just as impactful really, and these are £12. They also stocked some beautiful bordello pieces, and their cabbageware is actually on my wish list for this year. And of course, Emma Bridgewater. When in the UK, you gotta get yourself an Emma Bridgewater mug because there's so many designs, it's pretty much impossible not to find the one that you like. Like this bee one is super cute. Look at this rabbit one. And as all pet owners know, you need pet merch. Look at all these dog breeds they have. They also have stuff for cooking and baking, as you can see. And some of their vegetable pieces are also very pretty. Like, look at this artichoke one. I think I like the way that they just kind of scatter their design as though if you have the real item in the bowl. Like, look at the sides. And it's quite big, and I would imagine eating some tomato pasta off of this would be amazing. It is about £27 per piece, so that ends up being cheaper than the sunflower piece we saw earlier. And they also have the bowls here. Of course, I must touch any funky cabbageware that I find. They also have the dragon fruit and other cabbage wares, and look at this one, artichoke. I think artichoke is such a cute motif to have on dishes. This one is £34. Oh, so this one's more expensive than the Emma Bridgewater bowl. That's interesting. You can see the pineapple and the fish and the kiwi here. So playful and fun. Look at this watermelon one. How amazing. I'd love to eat sorbet or fruits actually out of here during the summer. Now we are moving on to the one and only great and amazing Fortnum & Mason. I would say out of all the retail shops that I went to, Fortnum & Mason had the best collection of silverware. They also do their own original products, which are beautiful, and the way they present their things just feel very bougie. These are all tea strainers on a round table, on velvet cloth, and every single tea strainer looks like the main character. I love myself a good silverware piece, and I do own a few, like some trays, a teapot, a few creamers, a sugar, all that jazz. However, I do find them to be a little high maintenance, so every now and then I do have to take the time to clean the tarnish off of it. But the whole process is actually very satisfying because the before and after is pretty obvious. And of course they have some bordello pieces here as well. Can't help but touch them. They have been on my bucket list for a while, so I'm hoping to get them this year. And I wanted to show you guys this adorable little, is this like a cheese container? Look at the cats on the side, chasing the mice, and the mice on top. And it's got almost like a skeleton design in the pattern. Very cool. I did not know that Spode made their Italian series in green, so that was really quite lovely to see. And I also didn't know that they did their Christmas tree edition, but not with the green borders, but with these like wreaths instead. They also had some vintage pieces for sale, which I think is awesome. They're naturally expensive though, so I was just looking at them as though if it was a museum. This was my first time seeing Rory Dobner pieces in person. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but this is the Piccadilly Building series, and I think these would also make really nice souvenirs. There's something about the black and white and the straight kind of brick Harry Potter-esque architecture that reminds you very obviously of London, but also it's kind of Christmassy without it being in-your-face Christmas. So this was our little haul at Fortnum & Mason's. Of course I got tea and biscuits, but most importantly I grabbed this Fortnum & Mason Emma Bridgewater mug that says "Take me to Fortnum's, honey," and "Buzzing at Fortnum's" on the inside, which I totally was, because who isn't buzzing at Fortnum's? Now we're not at a retail therapy place, but we are at the Victoria and Albert Museum in their ceramics section. I actually went to Victoria and Albert, I think it was on a weekday, a little bit late, and I didn't know that they closed off their upper floors later in the evening, so I showed up. The ceramics floor was not open. I was so disappointed, but I just checked the ground floor items, and I came back on another day to go to their ceramics section. All of these Victoria and Albert clips actually have me narrating in person in the video, but the audio did not come out sounding too good because I was whispering the whole time. Don't know why I was whispering, because nobody else was there except me and my mom. Look at this gorgeous darling right here. It's got the cabbage rose and so much gold with the London handle, and the details around the cup is amazing. I suspect that is from Spode, but let's wait till I find the information. Spode's factory. We are correct, ladies and gentlemen. And look at all the other cups. They also deserve a shout out. Look at that tulip cup with the butterfly handle. Look at the details of the petals. It's true botanical art right there. And look at this adorable cup with the lid. I am blown away. Oh my gosh, the bugs, the bugs. I love a very realistic ceramic piece. Like, look at the peas on this one. It looks so real. Look at the variety of handles there are in this one shot. All for the same purpose of lifting a lid off of something, but they all look so different. Ah, my jaw is on the floor. Whoa. Whoa, look at the lid. Look at the lid, guys. Wow. Wow. Wow, I don't even know what this container is for, but wow. I mean, its purpose, I feel like, is its presence at that point.
And this is the iconic Susie Cooper design set. I forgot what the name of the teapot was. I think it was called like Kestrel or something like that, because it's supposed to be like inspired by a bird. From the side. Wow. Stop. Oh my goodness. Look at that. The cups are like flowers. Oh my goodness. I wish they had placed this in like one of those glass containers like here, where you could go around like 360 and look at it from all angles. Oh, I recognize that from a mile away. Look at that.
You guys, if you thought that all of that was beautiful and you were satisfied, no, 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 no. You wait till we get to the next room, where I hope is my future bedroom. Drum roll, please. Yes, we are here. I am literally shimmying as I record this audio because look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it all. They have it all organized based on country of origin.
This is everything I could have asked for and 10 times more. Are you kidding? Are you joking? Are you joking? Stop.
I am so grateful for everybody who has taken care of all these things really well so 2023 me can enjoy them. And I wanted to show you guys this amazing design in the back there. Look at this swan holding on to a leaf, and the way the leaf kind of climbs up on the side, and the wings are where like the water would pour out. It's insane. It's insane. It's breathtaking. It's the height of creativity and luxury and art and ooh. I was happy that there weren't a lot of people when I was filming all these clips in this room, but you guys, if you're in Victoria and Albert, please, please, please go here. This room deserves so much more recognition. It is incredible. There's not as much information per item as there was in the other rooms, but it is a feast for your eyes just as much. I'll tell you guys a fun fact that I learned from one of the antique dealers I used to see going to antique fairs in Tokyo. But cups like this that have the saucer with that little catcher where it stabilizes the cup, those were used back in the day when people used to ride horse carriages and they drank like tea and whatever in the horse carriage to stabilize it so it didn't stumble and spill. I have way more footage from this room, but I'm gonna have to cut it here or we'll be here for over an hour. So just enjoy the last little bits I'm including in here. And let's get moving to our last spot. The last spot is in Rome, and it is called Leone Limentani, maybe? And they're the best store, you guys. They're the best store. The way they display their things and the fact that it's just kind of there for you to touch and see up close. And they have so many in stock. I'm not sure if this is a wholesale shop, so you have to be like a business owner to be able to purchase things. But I went in there fine and just kind of browsed around and filmed, and it was all good. They also have other things other than china, so they have homewares in general, so glassware, crystal, cutlery, everything under the sun. I think this is the most comprehensive store I went to, where anything I could think of, or pretty much anything I owned, I was pretty certain they had an identical piece. They had the Bernardo Constance here, which is always a pleasure to see because it is stunning. Look at it. Another wish list item. Alright guys, that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like and subscribe so I know to make more of these, and I'll see you in my next one. They also had so many beautiful, what is that? Beautiful.